Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M40 M43. It's the Tier 8 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Ruinberg, and it's under the command of Angelina75 of OLIMP, and this is another replay in the competition to win the weekend lie-in. Game on! I'm sure most of you know about the weekend lie-in competition, but for those of you who are new to the channel, it's a competition that Angelina has been running with talon1958 for well over, I think maybe 3 years now, and the competition is to get the very best Arty replay by mastery or by medals or even by win 8, and the winner gets to lie in on Sunday morning and have a nice relaxing day, whilst the loser has to get up and chase after Remy as he switches on all the light switches. We've just heard today that Remy has learned how to use the computer to get onto World of Tanks, so he may be bothering a lot of you in the near future as he learns how to play Arty. Yes, he was looking at Arty when he got onto World of Tanks. So, yes, I'm afraid because Angelina and both Talon and Angelina are both very good at Arty, you could be seeing somebody new joining them on the battlefield. 8-inch howitzer. It's capable of doing 900 alpha, 52 millimeters of pen, and 10.5 meters on the blast radius, between 12.5 and 28 seconds of stun. That shell overshot, but it got very close. Now with the special HE, the non-stun variety, it's 1100 alpha, 65 millimeters of pen, but only a blast radius of 6 meters, and of course no stun. So if you do hit an enemy tank with that, you're likely to get a lot of hit points, even if you don't penetrate. So it's sometimes worthwhile hitting an enemy tank with non-stun HE. It's not only going to annoy them, it's really going to annoy them when they lose a lot of hit points. Notice how Angelina's changing position to avoid counter battery. Counter battery is a big thing on the NA server. A lot of the enemy players will try to counter battery if they can to take the enemy Arty out of the game. We're looking up into the village at the moment. There's a UDAS 03 on that corner. There's some other enemy tanks just behind the houses. They're staying Arty safe, but we don't know where the enemy Arty is. And he could be over in grid square A2 or A3, or he could be elsewhere. He could be up into the corner at A0, shooting down this way. At the moment, we've not been spotted, but we're about to put a round into a Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. Rounds up. Direct hit, 401. It didn't penetrate though, surprisingly. It should have. It would have been a penetrating shot if it hit some of the weak armor. But Waffenträgers, especially the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, tend to let shells in very easily. The SU-130 PM is another that's very vulnerable, and Scorpion. If you can... Oh, he went down. If you can preference get a shell into a Waffenträger, you're more than likely going to score a good hit, potentially getting a penetrating shot. Angelina's looking around. She can't find a decent target to hit at the moment. I mean, my suggestion would be to actually get a bit further, a bit closer over to the gate. The Borsig's gone. He's just been wiped out. This TNH, who's a Unicum player, is holding that corner. We don't see a lot of other enemy tanks in this game so far. With 2 up on the enemy, we can see some enemy tanks out the field. The Strip 103B is on the corner where you can't hit him, but the UDAS 03 that we saw earlier and some of the other tanks up in that corner are moving about. So he might be able to get shots, or Angelina might be able to get shots in those directions. That's it. She's actually now starting to position herself And it might be a good idea to actually go out into the corner with still 2 up on the enemy. There's not many angles from this direction. She could move out to, say, grid square K5 or K6 actually, and shoot from there, and that might give her a few more angles that she can use. Yeah, she's getting red lines through here. Alternatively, the really good angle to have is actually from K0, because you can actually shoot into the town quite easily from there. Look, she's not enjoying this. She's not getting enough. She's going to change position. I think she might even go Rambo on us and start chasing after the enemy tanks to give them a shotgun. The 8-inch enema, as they call it. There are a few enemy tanks out there that she could shotgun very badly. She's got a T-30 now. Okay, well, this could be fun. Rounds out. 233 gave him some stun, but no stun assist from our teammates yet. I guess he just wasn't in sight of tanks that were willing to shoot in that direction. But she can plant another shell there just in case the guy is still there on the corner. In fact, the T-30's suddenly been spotted again. And it looks like it's not fully upgraded yet, so he probably doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Certainly looks fairly stock. Rounds out straight away. Lands very near to where that T-30 was. The Conway's coming this way. Looked at the mini-map at the moment, although he's probably going to have difficulty getting past the TNH T-Biz 51 and that Object 268 version 5. But it might be a good idea to move now from the current position, because nobody's spotting the Conway. But the Object 268 version 5 might be the next person to see him. I saw that LTTB is in the enemy rear, on the enemy side. There's the T-30. He's gone back to the capture circle. Okay, we might get spotted as we go past this point. Nope, the Conway's not there, so we're okay. We can survive a little while longer. Scores are now even. Shows that the enemy have been clawing back some of their losses. They even have more hit points than we do at the moment. The Conway has been spotted. He is actually at the end of the road, so we might need to go down here and move up to avoid that Conway seeing us. But we have to watch out when we cross the road, because if we do cross the road, the Conway might see us, even though it'll be maximum range. Okay, now we could use the spotting from the Object 2685 to see where the Conway is. She's checking. Oh, T-30's coming to town. We could definitely take him. One shot, right at the side, rounds out. Yep, she got him. Nice shot. It's always nice when the enemy parks themselves in such a way to make their weak side vulnerable. That LTTB is almost about to die as well. Saladin's moving in. That's going to force the Conway to react. We're 2 up on the enemy again, so we've turned it around. The strip is now under threat. Now, she could use these bushes here. If she goes a bit further up, she'd probably get more angle on the enemy, though. Our teammate in the ELC, M90, is moving into enemy territory, and he might see a few of the enemy now. In fact, he just killed the Strip 103B, who sat there for too long. And now we've got the T-832, the Terminator tank, down in the town. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. Angelina stands to earn a lot of XP the more she damages these guys. That was close. The more tier 10s that Angelina hits, the more XP she'll pick up. She gets 20% extra for a tier 10 and 10% extra for a tier 9. There's a Conway, that's a tier 9. We can certainly put a shell into him, and in fact, we might even penetrate a Conway. She can see the enemy Arty, the GW Tiger, he's gone. So there's only 2 left now. We're looking for the Conway. There he is. Through the gap, rounds out. Tried to get it. Just missed him. He doesn't want to go through that gate now because he knows there's 2 tanks just outside waiting to collect him. There's the T832. And we've got 2 tanks going after him as well. And he's in a multi-level engagement now because he's got Arty on him as well. Angelina could possibly... Oh, well, not anymore. The 268 version 5 made it very final there. And the SU-130 PM gets the kill that ends the game by taking out the Conway. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a 3rd class tanker for angelina75 of OLIMP in the M40 M43. She managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 7. And a win rate in the game was 1,507, which is good, but not great in this game. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in this game actually went to the Strip 103B, who seemed to be sitting outside a house for a long time in the same position, but he managed to get a high caliber out of that game, as well as 5,799 hit points. So I suspect he was hiding behind the buildings in certain other places up in the village, shooting at our tanks down in the town. When it came to the second highest, that went to the TNHT Viz 51 on the enemy team, 4,481. Third highest was the UDAS 0303, one of the new tanks, and he got 4,321. But those are the only 3 really good tanks on the enemy team. Everyone else was not so good, and there were more better tanks on Angelina's team. Angelina got 1,281 hit points. She was actually beaten by 4 enemy tanks on the enemy team, and also by 6 enemies, 6 of her teammates, not enemies. So 10 in total. She's in 11th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, Angelina only got the 1, and the 5 kills went to the Strip 103B. 3 kills went to the SU-130 PM, and 2 kills went to the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, the Object 268 version 5, the ELC M90, the TNHT Viz 51 on her own team, and only the UDAS 033 managed to get 2 kills on the enemy team. Okay, when it came to base XP, Angelina's a little higher up the table, but she still got beat by 1 player on the enemy team. Their Strip 103B got 714. And the top scorer was the ELC M90. He did spotting for 1,184. The Saladin managed 1,047 base, and they were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game, with the SU-130 PM getting 3rd place with 865. Angelina got 678, and there's 5 players on her own team, 1 player on the enemy team above her, which means that she's actually in 7th place, not 6th place, as it shows there. She fired only 9 rounds, so not enough rounds fired to actually get a decent result. And I think that was because the initial position, although promising, it turned out that not many enemy tanks made it into the center of town. They seem to be accumulating elsewhere, some in the village and some outside the village or outside the center of town. And so that's why she didn't have many targets to shoot at. She only managed to get 9 shots off, 2 direct hits, 7 splashes, 1,281 hit points of damage. Managed to hit 5 of the enemy, kill 1, and got 664 hit points of stun assist off 6 stuns. On a premium count, she actually made 74,060 credits from that game, including a 65,000 mission completion bonus and 2,034 experience points out of the game. So she set the target for this weekend so far. It's a 3rd place and a bruiser and 1,507 on the win 8. But Talon sent in a replay, so let's see if Talon can beat that score right away. Here's the second replay, and we're watching talon1958 in the SU-8 on the Sand River map.
Time to roll out.
Game on. Well, it's a 152mm howitzer instead of the 8-inch howitzer that Angelina had, which is 203mm in caliber. The SU-8 is now the go-to Arty if you want a fast and furious game. It's got the fastest reload of the Tier 6 Artys other than the FP304. And of course it's got a big alpha, 550. Okay, first enemy tank's been spotted. It's an AMX 1375 and he's trying to be clever by hiding behind that rock, and unfortunately that's not going to work out so well for him. Rounds out. That shell exploded right next door to him, and I suspect he's lost a few hit points since. He was splashed. Now, apart from being 550 alpha, it's also 6.7 meters on the burst radius, between 6.5 and 11 seconds of stun. The next target's an A44, we're dialed in, and rounds out. Overshoots, but the A44's gone down, and ISM's the next target. Talon relocating to avoid counter battery. The standard reload by the book is 19.65 seconds. Talon's got it down to 16.1. Another enemy target's been spotted. It's the enemy Arty. They've got two enemy Artys, an S51 and the FP304. It's a bit of a long range shot though, because it's actually 2.6 seconds before the shell reaches the target, and he can move a lot in a short while because, of course, remember the FP304 moves at 72 kilometers an hour, fastest Arty in the game. It means you have to have a long lead, and it looks like somebody else had a better lead on that guy than we did. In fact, it was the other Arty on our team, the SU-14-1, who fired him from a different angle. Okay, next target, KV2. Rounds out. Much better on that one. And he got the stun assist as well. Okay, we've got M4. Is that an A3E8? That's the Easy 8 version. Get ready. Rounds out. He's still got a direct hit, but the guy pulled back and we hit the front of the vehicle. Going for the ISM this time. Of course, he's got his engine between us and his crew. The Easy 8 goes down, but can we put a round into the ISM? Wait for him to stop moving, then fire. That's it. Gets a direct hit, 98. The FP304 has been spotted. He's out the game. We're 9 up on the enemy at the moment, so it's going a bit of a one-sided battle. Okay, AMD178B, can we get a round in? Rounds out. Well, we stunned one of his teammates, and he's gone down, the 88, so we got the stun assist off that one. But the AMD managed to escape most of the damage, but he's being chased. And now we're aiming at that 1375. We can see he did take some damage in that initial shot. In fact, now he's on fire. Oh, and he's been ram killed. There's only one enemy left. It's the AMD178B of all things. And yeah, he's gone. And that's it. Well, that was a brief battle for talon1958 of OLIMP in the SU-8. He got a third-class tanker out of this one as well, and he got a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he only got 4 showing here, but he must have got 5 to get the medal. He also got a win rate of 786, which is not good, actually. It's poor at the moment, I think, according to that chart. It shows that he didn't get a lot of actual damage. He got more stun assist out of that one. We look at the team score, we can see he's way down the table on damage, only 609 hit points. The highest scorer being the Kari, managed 2,217. Second highest being the Emil1951 with 1,578. And the third highest being the T34-3 with 1,504. The Skoda T25 got a Lever Slayers medal out of that game. And the AMD178B on our team picked up an Orlix medal. So very well done to them. When it came to kills, well, Talon didn't get any kills at all, but the high scorer was the Kari and the T-34-3, both with 3 kills each. 2 kills went to the Skoda T-25 and the AMD 178B. Yes, no kills, as I said, to Talon. When it came to base XP, though, he's got 518, but the top scorers were the T-34-3, the Skoda T-25, and the T-25-2. He fired only 8 rounds in this game, got 3 direct hits on the enemy, but none of them penetrated. He got 5 splash in total. 609 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 4 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 433 hit points of stun assist off 5 stuns. Now, on a premium count, he actually made a profit of 106,503 credits in that game, but we must note he did get 90,000 of that from a mission, so he actually earned a lot less when it came to it. Only 16,503 without the bonus. So, yes. And 1,554 experience points after this one as well. He said, come on, shoot the stun tanks. Well, at least he did get some stun assist, even if it was only 433. But you can see that 433 did have an effect because it got him a 3rd-class tanker. And, of course, Angelina didn't get quite as much. We look at Angelina's score. Well, she got more on actual damage, but 664 on stun assist. But compared to the other M40s, M43s in the game at the moment, that's quite a small score. So, yes, you can see Angelina did do better than Talon. And overall, that means Angelina is in the lead, but on her win 8, 1,507, as opposed to Talon's, which is 786. So that's the lead at the moment. Angelina's got the lead, and that was the score that she managed. So it would only take somebody to get a 2nd-class tanker, and they'll take the lead away from the other partner. Of course, if they get an ace tanker, they win the competition outright there and then. And I'm expecting to see quite a few ace tankers over the next few days. So I suspect that we'll be seeing one of the two getting the win for the competition. Hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.